Hello, everybody. Right on time is when we are starting this show. Um, so, my apologies for the delay, but here we are. Uh,
Week one.
oh, there we go. Got to fix. Had a tab making noise. Um, Alrighty. So, welcome to week one recruiting. Before we get into the players committing, I'm going to go over the hype store and the random events for the new people. The walkthrough I will have set up probably later this week, but I'm going to explain what it is for anybody that's new or anybody that needs a refresher. But basically, the hype store is where you will make purchases each week. They'll be due the same time your recruiting points are due. You can make visit purchases. We previously had official and unofficial visits, and there were a different amount of points you could gain from the result of your college team's outcome. But since we don't have games happening, there's only going to be one type this week or this cycle, excuse me. And that is specific. It's outlined more in the bylaws, but basically, because we don't have games to be played, we can't have the outcome of them determine how many bonus recruiting points you get. So, once the hype store is open, if you want to bring a recruit in, you will fill out the form. The form will be set up so that you can only bring players in on visits that are uncommitted. So that is helpful to you. You won't accidentally spend points on a player you can't bring in. You can also auto commit people. That's 100 hype, so it'll spend your entire hype. In previous years, you could time it so that you could convert NIL to hype and spend 100 hype on auto committing a player and then lock them the following week. That's no longer permitted. So I'm guessing we'll see the number of auto commits go down, but auto committing is an option, and that's any player that you are in the top 5 player or schools for. You can auto commit in any week. You can't lock them for an extra week, but you can auto commit them to your school. So it's a big risk. You can't do it. The other main purchases that you can make are steals and locks. And those kind of go yin and yang with each other. So if you purchase a lock on a player you have committed to your school, they cannot be stolen. They're yours. They'll go through to the end of the cycle with you unless you choose to trade them or revoke their scholarship. It's pretty straightforward. Steals are a little more complex. So a steal, you can, for the same amount as it costs to do a lock, you could try to steal a recruit that you were in on, the top 5 players or however many when the roll happened. And if you try to make a steal attempt, you don't find out if a lock has been made until the show, and you will find out if that player is locked or if the steal attempt goes through. If the steal attempt goes through, that means that there will be a 50-50 chance that you will successfully steal that player. Sorry, my dog is losing his mind. There we go. If you steal that player, you will then have to lock them yourself. They could be restolen the following week. The important thing to be aware of is that if multiple people submit a steal attempt on any given player, the odds go to divided amongst the number of people in on that player if they're not locked. So if 3 people try to steal the same player the same week, you'd have a 25% chance because the team with them would have, the 25% chance, and the 3 people trying to steal them would have a 25% chance to make up the 100%. So that can be a little risky if a lot of people try to steal them. If you try to steal a locked player, you lose the points. You don't get them back. So there is a risk associated with trying to steal them. That also goes for auto-committed players. So if you try to auto-commit a player and someone else does also, it goes to a 50-50 roll. If 3 or more people did, it'd be even odds across the board for who has the chance at getting them auto committed. So that is the Hype Store. The way the NIL works is I believe there are 3 weeks throughout the season where we're going to have, these are 3 recruiting weeks throughout the season where you're going to be able to convert your NIL into Hype, so that if you spend up your Hype, you can get more replenished without having to get them through random events or other certain events that take place. I don't have those weeks memorized, but basically, it's a 2-to-1 ratio. So if you convert 200 NIL, it would turn into a full 100 Hype. But again, if you convert 200 and you had 50, you lose the 200 NIL and you just max at 100 Hype. We're not refunding you the amount extra. It's up to you to keep track of how much you should be converting or want to convert. I will be posting updated amounts, balances, if you will, for all of them. So just a heads up on that. That will be coming before the Hype Store opens. The random.
Sorry, I was just going to say, unlike the auto commit, regular locks can happen the following week.
Yes, yeah. So if you get a player to commit to your school this week, you could like, if the Hype Store was open, you could lock them this week. So the only thing you can't lock them immediately is if you auto commit them. That's a good point to bring up. The random events, you'll see there's essentially a random event like matrix, and certain random events will happen and you'll either gain or lose Hype. We'll run that once a week, and that will go throughout the recruiting cycle, but none of that is going to happen until we open the Hype Store, because everybody is starting at 100 Hype. So there's no point in running this random event thing yet, because if you're gaining Hype, you don't go over 100. So we might run it week 3 just before it opens, so that some people might lose down a little under 100, but it probably won't be till week 4. That is a good question. So the purpose of NIL is to turn it into Hype. In previous years, it was also a bonus category that recruits had preferences for. It was not built in that way for this cycle. The idea is it will be again in the future, and that is a dynamic bonus, because as you gain or convert it, it'll go up and down, and so your ranking in your conference will change. And so that was just a little too complex to build in for this cycle. But right now, the only purpose is to turn it into Hype. So that's kind of your ability to replenish your Hype balance. And that is largely funded by the success of your NFL team and players.
Just to restate, for the auto commit option, is that you need to be in the top 5 for that option.
Yeah, you have to be in the top 5 on a player.
Yeah.
Let's see. So this question, I largely answered it. The only part I'll add is it doesn't change your recruiting points whatsoever. So Hype is its own category. It maxes at 100. Each thing in the Hype Store costs a certain amount of Hype, and you will submit a form that will, tell us what you're purchasing each week, and you will remove it from your balance. And essentially, the main things you'll be seeing people purchase are visits, locks, and steals. I explained the locks and steals. The visits, the way it works is it will essentially give you, I believe it's 50 pre-bonus points to go in. So essentially, if you had put 50 points on a player that week and you did a visit, it would be as if you put 100 points on the player. That's the way that they work. You do have to have put points on a player prior to bringing them into a visit. So you can't bring players in to visit your school if you've never recruited them. Let's see. Awesome. I think that's everything. Let me get to C2 because they were the
C1.
Oh, C1, you're right. Thank you. All I know is it was not C3 because we're going to go back to the practice area, do some more stretching, get ready because we were an embarrassment this week. All right, let's go ahead and do this. Sweet. So first up, we have Booby Feaster. This is a 5-way commit. A lot of 5-team commits this early in the season. Again, there are thresholds that you have to be in to stay in on a roll on players, but largely right now they're all met because we're so early. You'll see as the season goes along, teams will drop out of them even if they're in on the leaderboard. But we have Nebraska, Stanford, Penn State, USF, and NC State. Let's see. Not USF, not Nebraska. We got an upset. Not Penn State, not Stanford. Wow, NC State with the biggest or lowest odds coming through with the first steal of the night.
There we go.
You got that one recorded?
Yep.
Wonderful. All right, next up, Deshaun Rideau. He's committing a couple of times, I think, tonight. Deciding between Nebraska, Texas, Ohio State, Stanford, and Pittsburgh. Who do you got a feeling for Rideau?
Another upset.
Okay. Here we go. Anybody but Austin. That's what they say. Ooh, anybody but Austin. Texas, almost the longest odds. 2 commits, 2 upsets. Exciting times. I do not need to download more RAM. That never works. All right. Ian Premer, I believe he's a tight end, deciding between South Carolina, that's you.
Come on.
Ohio State, USF, Texas, and Oklahoma. Any final words before I break your heart?
I don't have much hope for this one.
All righty. Well, hey, you were right.
Get it over with quick.
Can't get let down if you never got built up for it. USF, not Texas was the favorite, I think, right? Oh, no, Oklahoma was. Congratulations, Oklahoma. I think that's Oklahoma's first commit of the season.
Yep.
Aljur Miles next up. We have just almost a toss-up here between Ohio State and South Florida. And South Florida with this slight upset. All right. I think that was the end of C1.
That's it.
Yep. Those are C2 teams. So congratulations to all of you C1 folks. We are moving on to C2. First up, Tristan Keys, deciding between Rice, Washington, Florida, Duke, and Cal. Wonder if Duke is going to come through with another receiver.
Yeah.
Nope, he is not. Nor is Cal, nor is Washington. That means Florida with the, quote, night of the upset. Congratulations. Not a major upset, but an upset nonetheless. Boom indeed. All right. Next up, we have Caden Dixon Wyatt deciding again between Duke, Florida, Rice, and this time USC and UCLA. Not UCLA, not Rice, not Florida, not 2 for 2 down there. Not Duke, upset again, USC. Congratulations. I also believe that is USC's first commit of the night.
Fake USC.
Or of the season, definitely of the night. All right, Corey Barber deciding between just 3 schools, Georgia, North Carolina, and the real Miami University in Ohio. Big upset here if Miami pulls this one off, which I suppose it would be if Corey Barber went to Miami of Ohio also. That would be a pretty big upset. Ooh, not Georgia, not UNC. Wow. Boom. To quote a certain coach of the that likes to coach down in the swamp, night of the upset. All right, you good to go on?
Yep.
All right. Next up, Briggs Cherry. Can Miami of Ohio pull it off twice, or is he going to go to Tennessee or USC? Well, not USC, not Tennessee.
Have a night.
Wow, Miami of Ohio. Just doing big things down there or over there. I don't know. I think it would be over from where I am, but congratulations to Miami of Ohio.
Yeah. I think that's it for C2.
They had a solo commit, right?
Yes, Jeremiah Bushnell.
Thank you.
Tennessee.
Yeah. To Tennessee, was it?
Yeah, Tennessee.
Wonderful. All right. These are C5 teams. So here we go, C5. Tristan Keys committing again. This is a pretty even one other than UCSD. Best of luck. You don't have a football program, so it's going to be really impressive if you can pull off this upset. But it is, what I believe the quote is, the night of the upset. So we'll see how this goes. Well, not that big of an upset. FAU was the favorite, I believe, though. So a slight upset here. ASU, fear the fork.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Jalen Lott. I think he's going to Oregon with his real life, but what's more important is where he's going in the program. And that is going to be FAU, the favorite. Oh, just kidding. Not quite the favorite. Houston was the favorite. I think we've had like one favorite so far.
Yeah.
It's comforting considering I think I'm the favorite on a couple of players. So still don't want to download whatever that is, but I kind of do want to go to DQ. Anyway, Cedarian Morgan. Deciding again between 5 schools. FAU, the favorite. Indiana, just 13% odds here. Yeah, boom. Fear the fork. All right. Can ASU make it 2 for 2? Oh, wow.
Oh,
Let me just go ahead and one more time. Boom. And fear the fork. Congratulations.
big night.
Yeah, big things happening over in Tempe as well. All right. I think we've got, one more here in C5?
2 more.
2 more in C5. All righty. Jermaine Bishop up next. He won't be going to ASU. I know that much. He might be going to Wake Forest, UCSD, Arkansas, West Virginia, or Houston. Can West Virginia get the first recruit in the history of the program to their school? About to find out. Nope, not today.
Found out early.
He's not on Jermaine Bishop. That means Wake Forest, the night of the upset, is this is like the Red Wedding or whatever else was something you never saw coming. Congratulations. All right, Amari Latimer deciding between a bunch of acronyms here. We have Northwestern, West Virginia, UCSD, FAU, and ASU. Well, the night of the upset continues, but who is it going to be? ASU. Oh boy. You've got a big old target on your back over there in Tempe. Boom goes the Sun Devil? Something like that. Was there a solo commit in C5 or was it C4 that had a solo?
C5 had one last week.
Last week it was. Okay.
Again,
On to C4.
Yeah.
Chris Henry Jr. I'm not sure I've ever heard of him. He can't be related to anybody famous. TCU, San Diego State. That's weird. Baylor has a big L in it. That's weird how that happened. Ole Miss or Notre Dame. Oh, you hate to see it for most people. Ole Miss, TCU, Notre Dame. That means San Diego State has pulled in their first commit of the in the history of the program. So congratulations to SDSU.
Big one.
That is not the school that he ended up going to. I apologize, Mr. Mike Valerie, but better luck next time. Welcome back to the Discord chat. We're glad to have you. But congratulations to San Diego State. Now we've got Sedarian Morgan. Based on how tonight's going, we know he's not going to Missouri. So that means maybe Auburn, TCU, another San Diego State, or Notre Dame. Well, I was right about not Missouri.
Yeah.
And San Diego State, back to back. Wild. The night of the upset continues. Let's see if Deshaun Rideau can go to Maryland or not. We might make it a 3-for-3 for San Diego State. Missouri looking to avenge their being upset earlier, and with Notre Dame and Ole Miss rounding it out. Not Missouri, not San Diego State. Ole Miss, not the favorite. Notre Dame coming in, to quote a certain head coach in Texas, tampering again. All right, and the last player to roll tonight, Mark Bowman, deciding between Baylor, Maryland, San Diego State, Kentucky, and Florida State. Florida State, Maryland, Baylor, Kentucky, and San Diego State with their third commit of the night. All right. Big things happening over here. We will have C3 here in just a moment. But again, you can't lock your players yet. You can't try to steal players yet because the Hype Store is not open. So that means that if teams get more than 3 players, by the time the Hype Store opens, they won't be able to lock them all. So keep that in mind. But all right.
All right. We got Gavin Mueller, tight end, committed to Miami, looking in real life, looking like Michigan, Wisconsin, Georgia Tech, Virginia Tech, LSU, Michigan and Wisconsin up near the top for the odds here.
Anybody want to go with a Go Tigers? I'm a big fan of Bay LOL. It's fine with me. Anybody but Baylor. That's what I always say.
Ooh, Michigan was the top. Another upset. Not Virginia Tech. Ooh, not Wisconsin. Not Georgia Tech. It was LSU, the 5th seed, pulling it off there.
Somebody said Go Tigers somewhere. It happened.
Chase Campbell is our next recruit up for grabs. Texas Tech wide receiver, I believe. Between Wisconsin, UCF, Georgia Tech, and Texas Tech.
I'm ready to be hurt.
Oh, more. Oh, there you go. Third.
Yep.
Going to Georgia Tech. Bit of an upset. Yeah. They were 23%. Chase Campbell. Davian Gross, wide receiver, Florida, between North Texas, who's at 30% for this recruit, LSU, Texas Tech, and Oregon. There we go. Oh. Sorry, not Texas Tech.
Wompity womp.
Not Oregon, LSU, North Texas, a favorite one. North Texas, congratulations.
We're gonna have to re-roll that one.
Oh, Sedarian Morgan again. I think it's his third
right.
time tonight.
Well, I can't lose him here, so let's see.
Yeah. Wisconsin, Georgia Tech, Michigan, North Texas, LSU. Will the upsets continue? LSU, not Georgia Tech. Oh, they will. Not Wisconsin. It will be Michigan grabbing Sedarian Morgan. And then the final roll for tonight. It's a biggie. Mr. Henderson between Texas Tech, North Texas, Georgia Tech, UCF, and SMU. What are your thoughts pre-roll for this one?
I think I should have been nicer to Baylor because last year when I did that, it worked better for me than when I was mean. So,
okay.
Not feeling confident, but we'll see how it goes.
All right.
Yep.
Oh, sorry. It was quick.
Quick and painful.
Yep. Not UCF, not SMU. It is Georgia Tech with the upset. 19%. Georgia Tech.
In other news, a investigation has been launched into Georgia Tech for recruiting violations. So, got to do what you got to do. I missed
Mark Bowman. The question: Mark Bowman did roll in C4. He went to San Diego State.
Did you have the first one for C3 still up?
Yes, I got them all here. First one was Gavin Mueller. Went to LSU. LSU on the upset.
All righty. Sweet. Any other questions that people have? If you're wondering what pain looks like to go 0 for 3 on recruits, it's right here. This is what it looks like. Right in my face. Fortunately, that's not new. Anything else? As always, I have to get these input and update the leaderboards and the forms. I will make an announcement most likely tomorrow morning. If I can get it done tonight, I will. But look for that for when you can submit forms again and the updated leaderboards. They will be due Sunday night, once again, 11:59 p.m. Central Program Time. If you are going to be up against the deadline, if you have an issue, if you need something, please reach out. Let either of us know. And we will, keep that in mind so that we can try to, we won't be bugging you if we know you're going to be near the end of the week or whatever it may be. We just want, the goal is to have everybody submit their points. So we're trying to do that, but we're not also going to hold everybody's hand the entire cycle. So it's kind of a balance that we're trying to figure out. But yeah, we will be having week 2 recruiting opening up in short order. Thank you all. Go Texas Tech, pew pew for life, even though we were 0 for 3. Maybe we'll be 1 for 4 if we get somebody next week. Any final words before we call it a night?
No, go Cox.
All right. Take care, everybody.
Yeah, see you next week.